Hi, I'm Mo. I'm a newbie cash stuffer living at over 6,000 feet, and this is the mountain budget. Today's video is going to be an unstuffing. I'm going to review everything that I purchased on my card last week and pull from my cash stuffing envelopes and hope to kind of even myself out and return that money to the bank. But I'm doing things a little out of order. This is kind of an experimental day. Normally, when I do a cash stuffing, I first empty out my wallet, my daily use wallet, but I'm actually going to do that during my unstuffing just because I want some of these funds to go to my 100 envelope savings challenge and also to help me make some change. I'm just not 100% sure what the flow is going to be like today. So please have a little bit of patience with me as I figure this out. So first things first, let's open up the wallet. Now, leftover from groceries, I have $5, $6, $7, $8. So I'm gonna put these up here. Now, and leftover from spending, this is a little bit of a spoiler alert, but I know I have $20 left over from spending, and you might be thinking, oh, but Mo, there's $120 still left in your spending thing. Well, it's because it's getting unstuffed, and we can talk about it when it happens. But from eating out, I am happy to say that I can fully unstuff this. I was traveling this last week and I ended up not eating out much at all because the place where I went, I was with family and we were having meals together. So I can fully set this aside to my 100 envelope savings challenge. Although now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, all of my $100 bill slots are full in that challenge. So that's going to be an interesting thing to work through. And I do have my entertainment envelope left in my wallet, and I'm gonna go ahead and move that back to its, oh my gosh, why will none of this not open? I'm gonna move it back to its original binder if I can get it out. Hello, what? Just because I had it while I was on my trip in case my family and I did any sort of like going to the movies together or, there we go. Wow, that was unnecessarily difficult. Oh, and tips as well. But I think I'm actually gonna leave tips in my wallet just because that's something that's an envelope that I like to carry with me. All right, we'll come back to this and let me try and remember. I'm still getting used to all my envelopes, my binders. I believe it goes in here. Yep, it goes in here. Okay, that opened up much nicer. Okay, let's count how much money I should end up putting into my 100 envelope savings challenge rather than take back to the bank. So, be nice if you turned on, please. I don't have that much money here actually, so I don't think I need my calculator, but I need to remember that at the end of this video, I need to take away this amount to put into the 100 envelope savings challenge rather than go back to the bank. So that's gonna be $125, $6, $7, and $8, $128. But I'm gonna keep this out here for right now so that way I can use it as change if I need it, which I might. And I don't know that this is gonna work out. I might have to fudge some of the numbers. This is my debit card spending tracker. I need a highlighter. I'll be right back. This highlighter is just gonna help me keep track of what I have already unstuffed. We're gonna start with our giving binder because I did, ooh, wait, I forgot to do my change into my piggy bank. And I do have a little bit. Oh, I also found a $5 bill crumpled up in the back of my wallet. So let's put that here. And I have some change that we can put in the piggy bank. Whoops. And we'll set the piggy bank off to the side. I'm just gonna recount this. 120, 125, 130, 131, 2, and 3. Okay, so actually, I'm just gonna write that right here. 133. is what is going to be given to the 100 envelope savings challenge at the end of this video. All right, now let's get into the binders. So from the giving binder, I'm going all the way to the back to miscellaneous celebration, because I purchased a wedding gift for my cousin. I had planned on purchasing this later this month, but I checked their registry and their registry was just selling like hotcakes, and I was nervous that the present that I wanted to get for them wouldn't be there by the time I had enough saved up. And when I mean I had enough saved up, if you watched my most recent cash stuffing, I am starting to implement a rule for myself in some of my envelopes that, especially for something like miscellaneous celebration, where if something comes around where I would want to pull from the envelope, I'm only supposed to pull no more than roughly 25% of what is in the envelope at any given time. And right now in this envelope, I currently have 150, 170, 180, 190. And so because of that, that meant I would technically only be able to spend about $50 on this wedding present, but I knew I wanted to have a budget closer to 120. So I'd actually budgeted for the month of August to have $200 put into this envelope. So I would have closer to roughly 400 at the end of the month, and then I could buy their present. But like I said, I felt rushed to buy the gift because I was afraid that it was gonna sell before I had the like built up budget for it. So all of that to say, this new rule that I've set for myself isn't going exactly according to plan, but hopefully I can, you know, I'm still budgeting $200 to go into this envelope for August, and so hopefully it will all even out. I'm sorry if that didn't make sense. Who knows? Anyway, so it was $143, which, oh, don't even get me started on shipping costs, because that always derails me, because the actual gift was not that expensive, but shipping costs were a joke. Okay, so I'm gonna put 150, or can I do 143? No. Okay, so then I need to make $7 worth of change. So we're putting 150 back into the tray, and then we're taking this ugly 5 and 2 1s. Okay. And now this envelope is left with 20, 30, 45, 46, and 47, which again, unless I have another miscellaneous celebration coming up this month, which I really don't think I do, that should mean by the end of this month, we actually have almost $250 in it, which is, I'm very comfortable with having that amount. So that has been unstuffed. And if you're curious, the wedding present was a bowl. It was a solid bowl, like a serving bowl for when they entertain. And it's very pretty. The bride has very good taste. And it was a little pricey, but I love to give serving dishes as wedding presents, because then it makes me feel like, you know, anytime that they host a party, I kind of like helped them throw that party. So that's fun to think about. Next, we're gonna go into the housing binder, which I believe is this light blue one. Did I guess correctly? I did. Excellent. And let's see, I bought some supplies for coffee, but specifically for organizing this coffee station that I have in my bedroom. And the idea is that when I have a guest over, they can wake up in the morning and they can just make themselves a coffee by the bedside. They don't need to go up and go out into the kitchen if they really just want to enjoy a lie-in. And so I purchased some organizational tools to just make that space look really nice and comforting, welcoming. And right now, ooh, this is incorrect. Well, right now it says that I have $1,000 in the bank and 10 in cash, but that's not true. I have $300 in the bank. Whoop, and 10 in cash. So how do I want to do this? This is where this is going to become a problem, because something about me is that I'm really bad at math. So this is going to be tough. Okay, so $300 in the bank, $10 in cash. We spent $95. I cannot believe I'm gonna have to use a calculator for this, but I have to. Okay, so we have $310 minus 95, so I need to end with $215. And so what I can do is take away this placeholder, this $100 placeholder, and bring in this 5. Yes, okay, excellent. I'm so excited that I was able to do simple arithmetic with the help of a calculator. So we've ended with 100, 200 in the bank, 210, and 215. Excellent. Left in bedroom. And I'm getting really close to being done with my bedroom. The only thing really that I have left to do is get some drapes, just so to kind of be that final piece of comfort and coziness, and also for when I have guests, if they would like to have some privacy. My apartment has shades, but I think that they're not cozy, and that's what I want my bedroom to be, is cozy. So, all right, excellent. I can mark this off. I'm getting super nervous about being able to get that $133 in here, actually, now that it's fine. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. It's gonna be okay, truly. All right. But I have another thing I need to pull from this binder, and that is from my furniture envelope, which I also don't know when the last time I updated this was. Sorry, I have really confused myself, which that was always in the fates. Like, the cards told us that this would happen. So I actually had already accounted for this table purchase in my Excel sheet, which is what I just looked at. So I accidentally, in the previous clip, which I don't even know if I'm going to include that because I might be confused, but I don't need to confuse all of you. I had accidentally double subtracted. So we're gonna pretend like I didn't do that, and we're gonna try and understand what is happening here. Before I purchased this table, I had $2,100 in the bank and $50 in cash, $2,150, okay? Then I purchased this table for $156. So between the cash that I have in the bank and this 50, I should end up with $1,994, which is basically $2,000. For the smart people watching this, let me know if what I'm about to do does not make any sense. But I am going to leave this $2,000 placeholder in the furniture thing. Then I'm gonna take this 50 back to the bank, and I'm gonna return this $100 placeholder. And then as for that $6 differential, I don't have the change. Oh wait, it wouldn't even work that way. It's not like I could put $6 in here. I would need to make it into 1994. So I actually owe this $6. That's where I was getting confused before. Okay. Well, I'm gonna write it down on a little sticky note, and I might just treat that like a rounding error just because that's so small, $6. I do have a buffer and that I have in each of my bank accounts, and so I could just subtract that buffer by, I could increase, yeah, I could donate $6 from the buffer to my furniture account to get my furniture account back to 2,000. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, oops, well, that's fine. So 6 from housing buffer to furniture to make 2,000. Okay. Oh, that was such a journey. Okay. I really do think I'm gonna cut most of that out because it was painful and I don't need you guys to suffer through it. Woo! We're learning. We're being gentle with ourselves because we're learning. All right, that thankfully is everything from the home binder. Okay. Now, which one do I want to do next? Let's do back to entertainment / recreation. We're gonna take roughly $50 from it. because I bought a couple puzzles. Because when I was on my trip, my cousins and aunts and I would puzzle in the evenings, and it was so lovely, and it was just such a great alternative to scrolling every day. And so I purchased some puzzles for my new apartment, so that way it's a thing that I can do as well. Okay, so I have 20, 40, 60, 75 in this envelope. So I'm actually gonna take, ooh, this is interesting. Okay, the puzzles were $52. So hold on. So 75 minus 52. So this should be left with 23. But this is a thought. I could use a differential here to also figure this out. Again, smart people watching might be screaming at me, don't do this, don't do this. I'm gonna leave $20 in here. So that way I have $3 extra going to the bank, which actually would bring the differential from $6 down to $3 that would need to go to the buffer. Does that make sense? Probably not, honestly. But we'll see. That's okay. All right, so entertainment, general, recreation, etc. is left with $20. And I will update this and make myself a note. 3 coming from general rec. And it will all balance out, she tells herself uncertainly. And we have the puzzles figured out. All right. Then next we're gonna go into spending. I had really wanted to put all of this towards the 100 envelope savings challenge, but literally yesterday I got because this is so insane. There is a company that I have been influenced via Instagram, and I have resisted for so long, but they sell these really beautiful phone cases, and they claim to be like luxury phone cases, but they're so expensive. They're like, it's like $50 a case. And so I was like, I can't justify that. That's insane. But while I was on my trip, my phone case totally shattered, broke. It's basically unusable at this point. And so I knew I was gonna have to buy a new case. And like the universe or the gods of advertisement knew that this was happening, I then received an ad that said that this specific company was doing a sale where if you bought 2 cases, you got 2 for free. And I was like, oh, well then at that point it's just $25 a case. Even though, no, Mo, you're paying $100 plus for a case, because who needs more than one phone case at a time? Not me, but I did it anyway. And then the shipping was crazy. So it wasn't just $100, it was $120, which I did have. It's not like I spent money I didn't have, but I'm a little miffed by it, not gonna lie. A little miffed because anyway, the phone cases are super cute, and maybe I will become the kind of person who changes the phone case based off the vibes of my outfit, but yeah, sometimes we fall victim to advertising, and not even victim. It was my own choice. It was not something that happened to me. I was an active participant in this decision. Anyway, I spent $120 on phone cases. If you've made it this far into the video, leave me a little phone emoji, and let's all just get really chummy in the comments and admit to our most recent and ridiculous purchase that we made and can't really justify. And I hope for you that you actually don't have one, but if you do, this is a safe place to share it, and we can all commemorate, that's not the right word. We can enjoy a sense of camaraderie and encourage each other to do better in the future. All right, and the final thing that I am updating today is my mom envelope, which is technically fully funded for the year. I just put a huge chunk of change in it at the start of every year. And then this year is her 70th birthday, so I am doing this thing where on the date of her birthday, every month I send her a present, and this month's present was a lovely headband for $70. I'm really just trying to spoil her because she has spent her whole life spoiling me, and it's time, you know, to return the favor. So, and I haven't updated this in a bit, but that's okay, because I guess the last time I updated it was last month, because right now it says that it has $2,200 in this envelope, but so 2,200 minus 70 is, that's exactly correct. It's 2,130 left. Do I have that right? Yes, that's what I have in my Excel sheet. So I can say 2,130 and I'll circle it. All right, and that is our last debit card purchase this month. So let's go ahead and count up what we have. Look at that. We have actual funds here. I'm feeling less nervous now. I mean, I'm feeling a little nervous because we need 133 and we definitely don't have 3 ones, but ooh, maybe I could do a miniature condensing. I could find something that's got a lot of 1s in it and slip in a 5. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, but first let's count out how much we have. So we've got 100, 200, 300. Oh, hold on, I think I double hit. Okay, 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 10, 5, and 6. Okay, so 496, but minus 133 that we're gonna put into the 100 envelope savings challenge. So we should have $363 going back to the bank, but let's do the 100 envelope savings challenge first. So what do I know has a lot of 1s? Oh, my Parks Pass. This is like a very tiny little condensing video too. My Parks Pass, which I believe is in this one maybe? Hobbies Miscellaneous. Yes, here we go. Summer. Oh, this might be, I forget if this one's Parks Pass or Ren Fair, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in here. So let's take these really crispy 2s to put into the challenge. 3, 4, 5. Wait, did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okay. Where did the 1 go? There it is. So we're gonna take this 5. So that way this envelope is still left with $6. Mo. She's a hot mess. Chill out. 363. I need to remember that number. So what we are hoping to get back into, whatchamacallit, the bank. All right, but 133 is going to the 100 envelope savings challenge. And now, of course, I'm remembering that I do rounding up. And so I don't even need those $3 because I round up. So that was a whole waste of everybody's time. It's okay. So 133. Let's see what numbers we could potentially fill in today. And let me go grab my Sharpie really quick. Okay, 100, 133. Let's start big. That's what I'm deciding. We're gonna start big to make life easier. So let's try and get an $80 one, and we can do it. I can already see it. We've got a 50, a 20 to get us to 70, and an 80. So let's subtract 80. So that leaves us with 53. Okay, and then why don't we just do 1, 2, 3. Wait, let's send back the worst ones. Oh no, these are all kind of good. Okay. So 53, and then what I'm gonna do is put a little asterisk next to it when I color it in to indicate that it can actually be not condensed, that it needs $2 more to get it up to a 55, because I'm trying to do rounding ups on all of my envelopes. So minus 53, get that down to 0, and I'll outline it like this and say +2 in order to get it filled in. And that I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that as the way we go about it. But of course, if you saw a major error, let me know, because I sure as heck didn't. All right, now let's count this to make sure it was the number that we said it was gonna be, and I've already forgotten that number. It was something 300 and something 3. 100, 200, 300, 320, 340, 360, 361, 362, 363. I've already forgotten what the number was that I was supposed to take back to the bank. I'm gonna just hope that that was right. If it's not, I'll let you know. And I will describe on the screen how I fixed it. What a mess this has been. But I do think we've learned a lot of lessons about how the flow should go. And hopefully it will make our future cash on stuffings a little more chill. But with all that being said, this is the Mountain Budget. I'm Mo, and now I have to go, and I so appreciate you and your endless patience more than you know.